Welcome to week 2 of Bible Studies for Life. Continuing in this idea of purpose, wearing my Longhorn shirt today. It's college football season, man. Big week in college football this week, so I'm excited about it. I hope you are excited about college football. Oh no, that will not. We'll have that discussion some other time. I hope you're excited about the study that we're going to have today. We're going to be in Psalm chapter 8 and chapter 14. What a great study we've got today as we talk about purpose. Before we look at that, be sure and hit the little subscribe button right down there, then do the thumbs up for a like. Appreciate it when you do that. That helps us always. And then always ask you to share with somebody. If you've got a comment, a question, put that in. Maybe there's something that you want to just ask about, or something you want to share with us that you've learned through this. Appreciate it if you'll put that in there. Tell us where you're watching from. And then if you want to support our work, you can go to give.exposedtochrist.com. Okay, here we go in Psalm 8, where we're going to start. Lord, our Lord, how magnificent is your name throughout the earth. You have covered the heavens with your majesty. From the mouths of infants and nursing babies, you have established a stronghold on account of your adversaries in order to silence the enemy and the avenger. It starts out with this great praise. It's common. We know the songs that are come out of this, and that phrase is not unusual. Lord, our Lord, how majestic or how magnificent is your name in all the earth. God's name is magnificent in all the earth, right? He's covered the heavens with his majesty. That everywhere you look, if you look in the sky, you see the stars, the sun, the moon. You get out a telescope and you look through the Hubble telescope. I don't care how far you look up into the sky, you see the majesty of God, the unbelievable work of God, that he created all of this that appears chaotic, but the truth is it is in great order, right? We see the earth and all the things that God has done on the earth, and we know that God is great, right? And he says this, when I observe your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon, the stars, which you set in place, what is a human being that you remember him? The Son of Man, that you look after him. You made him little less than God and crowned him with glory and honor. You made him ruler over the works of your hands. You put everything under his feet. He says, when I look at all this, when I see the magnificence of God's creation, what is a human being that you remember him? Right? Why in the world? Look at all the glory around us. Why in the world, God, would you care about us? I mean, you look after us. Not only that, but you made us just under you, right? Crowned him with glory and honor. You know that man's place in creation is not just below the Lord, but it's above the angels. It's above all of creation, that he has placed us in a prime position, and I think it's not wrong. Certainly, it is proper to look at that and go, why in the world? Look at creation, and then look at us, and look how majestic, how huge creation is. Look at the mountains and see all that God has done, and then think, for us, he cares. We've been given a prime place before the Lord, that he has given us a special place in his creative order. A special place, right? You made him ruler over the works of your hands, put everything under his feet. Lord, why do we have this place? It's unbelievable, right? But that is the place that God has created for us, and he has put us in that place. We'll go to chapter 14. It says, the fool says in his heart, there's no God. They are corrupt. They do vile deeds. There's no one who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven on the human race to see if there's one who is wise, one who seeks God. All have turned away. All alike have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Remember this from Romans chapter 8. Look, God has put us in this position, and what have we done with it? We commit sin, right? We say there's no God, right? We're corrupt. We do vile deeds. In fact, he says there's no one who does good. He repeats that again in verse 3. No one who does good, not even one. Paul quotes it in Romans. There's no one who does good, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We're all sinners, right? We're all vile. The Lord looks down on the human race to see if there is one who is wise, one who seeks God. And what does he find? None. Now, let me just tell you, okay, sometimes we think a little higher of ourselves because we have been blessed with salvation, and maybe we were blessed with growing up in a Christian home, and then we were saved, and we forget that without God working in our lives, this is us. We are the corrupt and the vile. That's who we are. No one who does good. No one who does good. And we may look at other people and say, well, those people are horrible. And that's true, they are. But you know what? So are we. I heard this the other day, and I really like this because sometimes we can think much better of ourselves than we ought to, right? And I think it's clear, right? When you read this chapter 8, he said, I don't understand why the Lord has given us this, right? David has a correct understanding of himself and of man. We don't deserve this place. And then here he's saying, because we've done vile things, we've done terrible things, and we may look at another person. We may look at, so I don't know, what's the worst person you can imagine? You know, the person that traffics children and that abuses children. Maybe that's who we look at and we say, those people are so horrible, right? But we need to understand that while, yes, we may be better than them in our moral, ethical actions, the difference between us and them is much less than the difference between us and God. Okay? So sometimes we can think we're really good, but the truth is we're a whole lot better than this person, but the difference between where we are and God and where they are and God is not that great. Okay? Does that make sense? That God is holy. God is perfection embodied. God is all that is good, and we are not. And we may be better than another person, but the difference between us and God and them and God is not that great. You know, it's like, let's say, we might say, well, I'm a 2 and they're a 1. I'm twice as good as they are. Yeah, but God's a million. So how much different is it between 1 in a million and 2 in a million? It's still a pretty big difference, right? So we need to think properly about ourselves, that no one who does good, not even one, he says, all evildoers never understand. They consume my people as they consume bread. They do not call on the Lord, then they will be filled with dread, for God is with those who are righteous. You sinners frustrate the plans of the oppressed, but the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that Israel's deliverance would come from Zion. When the Lord restores the fortunes of his people, let Jacob rejoice, let Israel be glad. I want you to see this, that, okay, we want to put ourselves on this good side because we all see ourselves as the good people, right? But I need you to understand something here that's very clear. He says, you sinners, he's talking to everybody, frustrate the plans of the oppressed, but the Lord is his refuge. You know what our hope is? Our hope is not our goodness. Our hope is the Lord. He is our refuge, right? We are the evildoers. We consume people as they consume bread. We tear one another up. We don't call on the Lord until the Lord comes after us. We don't naturally go to him until the Lord shows up in our lives. We don't call on the Lord. And some of us have been blessed to grow up in homes where we were taught that. And so maybe we didn't go as far as other people, or maybe we did. The truth is, without the Lord acting in our lives, we're all lost, right? We're all lost. We had such great place before the Lord, but all, you read that Romans 3:23, all have sinned and all fall short of the glory of God. We are not as good as we would like to think we are, certainly as good as we would like others to think we are. We need the Lord to save us. All of us do. Hey, I hope that's helped as you study, prepare. Teachers, God bless you for teaching. Really appreciate you. Be sure and subscribe, like, comment, share it with somebody else. Appreciate it if you'll do that. All right. We'll see you next time.